Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula and thank you for stopping by. This video is a part of a blog hop to celebrate Semensa Stamp Special Edition Limited Halloween Card Kit, and I'll be showing you how to make simple treat bag toppers or little decor pieces for Halloween. Included in this kit is a super fun stamp set called Ghostly Greetings, and I really like the little people included here and also the sentiments. I think they're really cute. You have your ghostly greetings, spooky, boo, and also a few smaller sentiments to complement the big ones and also to use on their own. Before starting this video, I did a test run and test stamped my idea out. So here I have my test banner. It doesn't really look pretty, but this is what I had originally planned. And the idea was to stamp a little decorative topper for a bag filled with treats or a bag that houses a little tea light. I used Simon's stitched banner dies, the largest banner, to cut this shape out. This is such a basic shape, you can also cut it by hand or using your paper trimmer if you don't have these particular dies. Now I folded my cardstock in half here and I die cut 2 layers of cardstock, leaving the fold line intact. But I didn't really like the end result. I was using watercolor paper, so it didn't cut all the way through. Now, if you used thinner paper, maybe regular cardstock, you should be able to cut through 2 layers without problems. So I'll show you how to create this topper piece by cutting 2 elements, the front and the back, and then stacking them together in case you'll be using watercolor paper like I am using here. Now, what I really love in this kit is a set of fun eyeball stickers. These are dimensional and one eye is always bigger than the other, so they add some crazy cuteness to your projects. This kit also has 3 Nouveau Drops bottles. There's a green one, a purple glitter one, and also an orange one. I don't have the orange one right here as I just used it for a different project and I left it in another room. But these are fabulous for adding little dimensional accents to all sorts of projects. And they work not just for Halloween. The green one can be used for Christmas, and the orange one is fabulous for fall projects. So let's get started. I'm going to start by die cutting the banners out, and I'm using my Platinum die cutting and embossing machine, my stitched banner die, and also some watercolor cardstock. I'm going to cut 3 banners as I want to decorate 3 bags today. I'm cutting 2 elements for each banner, the front part and the back part. The front part is a full-size die cut and the back part is a bit shorter. And the 2 pieces will be glued together later. But like I mentioned before, you can fold your cardstock in half or in 2 and cut both elements at the same time. Just make sure to use thinner cardstock. This is pretty thick watercolor paper that I have here. So after my die cutting was done, I trimmed the back pieces to be about 5 inches long, and I also used my Martha Stewart scoring board, and I made a score line about 1/4 of an inch from the edge and folded that part so that I would be able to adhere the back part of my banner later. Now when I did my test run, I watercolored the background, and I didn't really like the way it turned out, so I decided I would do some basic ink blending. Here I have my craft mat and a few colors of distress ink, as well as mini round ink blending tools. I'm going to blend milled lavender, wilted violet, and black soot to create backgrounds. Now I don't have black soot on my desk as I first planned to use another color, Dusty Concord, but it wasn't dark enough, so I used black soot instead. I did some very basic ink blending, starting with the lightest color at the bottom and darkest color at the top. I also used my distress sprayer and added drops of water to create beautiful reactive backgrounds. I love doing this. This magic of distress ink always fascinates me and I never get tired of making backgrounds like this one. I also decided I wanted to add some shimmer, so I grabbed my distress mica sprays and added a lot of shimmer to my backgrounds. There are 3 different colors or bottles in one set, so I used 1 of each for each of my backgrounds. So this one was sprayed with brushed pewter. For the next one, I used tarnished brass. And the last one was sprayed with antique bronze. The beauty of these mica sprays is that they do not reactivate distress ink. So it's not like adding water over your background. You are just adding shimmer and it doesn't force the distress ink to move like water does. And this shimmer shows up best on dark colors of cardstock. It's still visible on light colors, but it really does pop on dark surfaces. So it looks beautifully here on all of that purple and black. Now I also stamped and watercolored the little images or people from the stamp set, and I didn't film that part as it was pretty basic, just basic coloring using distress inks. I am still unpacking after our move to Arizona a few weeks ago, and I haven't located my traditional watercolors, so I'm using what I can find, and I can find distress inks these days. So I used forest moss, wilted violet, black soot, wild honey, scattered straw, and also some carved pumpkin and just a tiny bit of gathered twigs. I'm going to cut these images out using my scissors. I'm not sure if there are coordinating dies available, but these aren't very detailed, so not hard to cut out with scissors. Before adhering my cutout people onto banners, I'm going to do some additional stamping using a few more images from the stamp set from this kit. So I'm stamping spiderweb images, spiders, and bats, and I'm repeating this on all of my banners. Now I was using VersaFine Onyx Black ink for stamping these simply because it's my favorite black ink for stamping just about anything, but I also ended up heat embossing these images later, and since this ink is a pigment ink, it takes a little longer to dry, so it was perfect for heat embossing. I also stamped sentiments using the same black ink, and I used Simon's clear embossing powder to heat set it. I think that added just a perfect little finishing touch to this project. My images were foam mounted onto the banners using thin foam adhesive squares from Scrapbook Adhesives. I didn't want to add too much dimension here, so I used thin adhesive, and I also added the dimensional eye stickers to each of the characters I had stamped. Lastly, I used red tape to adhere the back pieces to my banners, and I also added some pattern paper to decorate it. Now I didn't want it to be white, but I also didn't want to do any more stamping and ink blending. I wanted something simpler. So I used pattern paper instead, and this pattern paper comes with the kit. And now that my project is finished, I'm going to grab a tea light. There are 3 included in this kit, and I'm going to place it inside the paper bag. I'm going to fold the bag, add my stamped banner on top, and secure with a little clothespin. I turned the lights off here so you can see how this actually looks when it's dark. Super fun and not that difficult to make. Alternatively, you can add some treats inside this bag and skip the lights. Here's a photo where I have a few of these bags decorated with the tea lights inside. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to head over to my blog to find more information about this kit. I have a link to my blog below the video in the description section. You'll also be able to find links to all the products I used today. And do join the Blog Hub to find lots of additional inspiration. Here are a few more videos you might like on the screen right now. Feel free to check them out. And I hope you like this project. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye!